And that's only so people that haven't weren't able to join at 9 can have an opportunity to view it later. So I post the link to the recording, but again, it's just our screen that's being recorded, not you at all. All right, so we'll begin today by coming into our seat. And if you are seated on the floor, you might allow yourself to have some cushion, maybe a pillow, or if a block feels good to you, whatever you have. And we'll just notice where our body is right now. Before we begin to focus on the breath, before we begin to do anything else, we're just noticing what is true right now for my body, what is true right now for my nervous system, what is true right now for my mental state, what is true right now for my emotional state, and allow space for all of that to be here. All of whatever arises has some space. And then we'll begin to gently rock a little side to side, a little forward to back, maybe even small little circles. Maybe some small circles the other direction. And just notice the parts of your body that are connected to earth. And notice also, do you tend to have weight more on one side than the other? A little more forward, a little more back? And then we'll do some subtle movements, almost like cow and cat, but very subtle. Inhale, the heart comes forward. Exhale, the chest rounds in a little. Inhale forward and exhale back. You might notice some tightness there, some tenderness at the shoulders, at the shoulder blades. Just notice. You might do a few neck rolls now. You might feel some tightness in the neck. Just notice that. And then we'll come to what feels pretty centered for our body. Doesn't matter how it looks. We'll just feel our weight as even as possible, as balanced as possible on both sitting bones, both forward and back. And then from that space, we'll grow our spine tall, vertebra by vertebra, sitting up nice and tall. We'll allow the chin to come in just a little so that the back of the neck feels long and the crown of the head is open and long and tall, and we'll feel for a moment that crown chakra energy, which is our inherent dignity, our fundamental worthiness, and our sense of belonging right now at this strange and potent time on this land. May we show up in our fullness, in all of our identities. May we welcome parts of ourselves home that we've pushed off in the shadows or marginalized. May we continue to invite ourselves home. So when I say that, some aspects of our personality are easy to invite in home. The loving part, the part that identifies as mother or auntie or uncle or father or sister or brother, you know, all of those parts, the parts that identify as a loving partner. But there's also the shadow, the parts of us that are selfish and angry and resentful. And those sometimes are harder aspects of our personality to invite home. But when we invite more and more aspects of ourselves home and hold space for whatever arises in the moment, we become better space holders for every other person to show up in their fullness as all of who they are in all of their identity. And so this practice today, may it be an offering for us to invite more parts of ourselves back home, to hold ourselves with tenderness and with deep care, to hold ourselves in nourishment, to hold ourselves in accountability, and to hold ourselves with as much self-care and self-love as possible today. We'll place our palms at our own heart, maybe right hand on the heart, left hand on top. And just take a few moments here for gratitude, gratitude for this strong body, exactly as this body is, this body that houses all of your lived experience, this body that brings forth creativity, this body that brings forth connection and love, and this body that processes strong emotions, even trauma. And have gratitude for exactly as you are, without thinking there's anything to fix or change. But gratitude for this moment, this body, this heart, this mind. We acknowledge the land we're on, the land of the Coast Salish people, here on Whidbey Island, the Tulalip tribe, in Seattle, the Duwamish tribe. We acknowledge the many teachers who brought the practice of yoga from India to become what it is here today. We acknowledge all the teachers that have come before and all those still coming. And the most important one of all, the one awakening inside our own heart. One Om together. Ah. All right, my dear. So for our pranayama today, we'll lie on to our back. Placing the right hand on the belly and the left hand on the heart. We'll take a moment here to feel into just the breath in the belly. So as you inhale, allow the belly to rise. And as you exhale, exhale from the belly. Inhale, belly rises, pause. Exhale from the belly. Inhale, belly rises, pause. Exhale from the belly. One more time. Inhale, belly rises, pause. Exhale from the belly. Now, allowing the breath to move a little. Inhale, belly rises, pause. Inhale a little bit more breath up into the chest. Chest rises, pause. Exhale in one long exhale. Two parts to this breath. Inhale, belly rises, pause. Inhale more breath up into the chest, pause. And exhale in one long exhale. Three more times. Inhale, belly rises, pause. Inhale, chest rises, pause. Exhale in a long exhale. Inhale, belly. Inhale, chest. Exhale fully. One more time on your own. And then the final step to this 3-part breath. Inhale, belly, pause. Inhale, chest, pause. Inhale a little more up into the throat. And exhale in one long exhale. So sipping the inhale in 3 parts and exhaling fully in one long breath. Notice if one part of the body is more receptive to the air than the other. And stay with the practice. Inhale, belly, pause. Inhale, chest, pause. Inhale, throat. One long exhale. Couple more at your own breath. And then allow the practice to subside. Breath is natural and effortless. And take a few moments here just to feel the parts of your body that are connected to earth. Notice the curve of the neck away from the spine, the curve of the upper back toward the spine, the curve of the low back away from the spine, and the curve of the sacrum back down toward the earth. Notice just those natural curves of the spine and the support that you feel here. Can we feel both held and free? Both cradled and accepted and loved and liberated. Take a moment here to imagine your spine as a riverbed and your breath, the current of that river, and your vertebra, the stones on the riverbed. And can you imagine that current of prana, that current of life force is carried on your breath? And that much like the water over time smooths out the stones. Can you imagine that this healing energy, this gift of your breath, can soothe the parts of your body that ache, that are tight or tender or stiff? Imagine your spine, each vertebra with exactly the right space, each vertebra smoothed out from the current of prana flowing on your breath. And then very gently draw your knees into your chest, perhaps one at a time. And do a few knee circles one direction. And a few knee circles the other direction. And then allow yourself to twist over to the right. Maybe there is a pillow or a block between your knees. And here at the very beginning of our physical asana practice, notice how the low back feels. Notice how the shoulders feel. Notice how the mid back feels. And then coming back to center and slowly over to the left. And just notice here how the low back feels, how the mid back feels. And coming back to center, placing that block between your thighs, or if you don't have a block, that's fine. You can use a pillow or even a blanket. And we'll squeeze the thighs together. The legs are straight up in the air. We'll curl head, neck, and shoulders up. Draw the belly in, squeeze the block, and imagine lifting the tail slightly. Maybe like me, it's an imagining. And then come down, lengthen the legs away from you, lengthen the head back toward the earth, and then curl up, lift the legs, squeeze the block, imagine lifting the tail. Lengthen your legs away, your head toward the earth, and then curl up, squeeze the block, and imagine lifting the tail. 3 more. Lengthen the legs away, lengthen the head toward the earth, curl up, squeeze the block, and imagine lifting the tail. Lengthen away. Curl up, exhale, squeeze, lift. 1 more, lengthen away. Exhale, curl up, squeeze, and lift. And then place your head down, place your feet down. Keep the block between your thighs or pillow or blanket. Push into your feet and lift your hips just a little. Bridge with something between the thighs. So likely this won't be a very high bridge, and that's great. We're still holding, finding some stability, breathing here, noticing the breath. Can you feel your thighs as much, if not a little more than the glutes? Where is your breath? And release down, remove the block. Draw your right knee into your chest and straighten your left leg on the floor. And holding on to that right leg, we might do a little jostle here, gently drawing the knee toward and away, toward and away. It's a low back release technique. Your left heel might be on the floor, and you can point and flex the foot, and that helps with the jostle. And then we'll switch sides. Left knee comes toward, The right heel might be down. You might point and flex the foot so that you have a little jostle. Notice what you feel from side to side. And then release that side. A pillow or a block between the legs or a blanket will squeeze whatever you have. Arms are in a cactus or a T shape. We'll draw the knees toward the right and up toward your chest. Inhale back to center. Draw the knees toward the left and up toward the chest. Inhale back to center, toward the right and up toward your chest. Inhale back to center, toward the left and up toward your chest. One more time each side. Inhale, center, toward the right, up toward the chest. Pause, draw your belly in. Notice your breath is probably in the throat, right? Probably in the chest, shallow. That's okay. Keep your belly strong. Inhale back to center, toward the left and up toward your chest, and pause. Keep the right shoulder down. Notice your breath. Inhale back to center. Keep whatever is between your knees. Curl head, neck, and shoulders up. And then straighten and lengthen your legs away. And then gather the knees back in and squeeze. Keep the head still. Lengthen the legs away. Gather the knees back in, squeeze. Lengthen away. Gather back in, squeeze. Lengthen away. Gather back in, squeeze. Lengthen away. Gather back in, squeeze. One more time. Lengthen away. Gather back in, squeeze. Curl up a little bit higher. Draw the belly in. And release down. Remove the pillow. Figure 4. So left foot stays on the floor. Right ankle, left knee. And we'll start to windshield wiper the legs side to side a little, side to side a little. Allowing both legs to come over to the left. So if you're pregnant or have any disc things happening, I would stay right here and just allow that right toe to barely touch the earth. Otherwise, you might place your left hand on that right thigh, draw the belly in and really reach to the right. And then we'll come back to center. That left leg, foot stays down, but we might heel toe it out a little to the left. Both legs go to the right. Both legs go to the right. Draw the belly in. And then we'll come back to center for thread the needle, that right ankle on the left knee. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. You can reach between your thighs for the back of that left thigh, or just hold on to the right leg. And just notice, you can move a little side to side. Notice what's happening in the right hip here at the beginning of practice. Now, keep your legs how they are, but interlace the fingers behind your head. Curl head, neck, and shoulders up. And then we'll go side to side. So like right elbow toward the left, left elbow toward the right. And we'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down, thread the needle. And now could your sacrum move toward the floor? Could your sacrum move toward the floor? And then we'll release that side and both feet on the floor, and we'll windshield wiper the legs. And then left ankle, right knee, figure four, and we'll continue that little windshield wiper with the right foot on the ground. And then both legs coming over to the right. You might stay just like this, more space for the belly, or you might take your right hand on that left thigh, draw the belly in and really reach to the left. You might even gaze to the left. Coming back to center as that figure four, the right foot stays on the ground, but it might heel toe out to the right a little. Both legs fall to the left. Belly draws in, again, not to hide, but just to feel the length in the low back, the support there for the right hip. And coming back to center, for thread the needle, you might reach between your legs, or you might just hold on to that left leg. Notice your breath. Notice your left hip and thigh. What are you starting out with? And then we'll interlace the fingers behind our head, and we'll keep our legs how they are, curl head, neck, and shoulders up, and we'll go side to side, side to side, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come down and thread the needle. And then we'll release that side. Time to come up and over onto hands and knees. Inhale into our cow shape. Exhale into cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more round. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. As we come back to cow, we'll reach our right arm forward and our left leg back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow toward knee. Inhale, lengthen. Elbow toward knee. Inhale, lengthen. Elbow toward knee. One more. Inhale, lengthen. Elbow toward knee. Now lengthen out and see if you can bend that left knee. The heel goes up, but then turn the left knee out to the left so the outer thigh is pointing up. Right arm out to the right. Breathe. And release. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. A few more times. Inhale is cow. Exhale, cat. One more. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cat. Right leg back, left arm forward. Inhale here. Elbow toward knee. Lengthen out. Gather in. Lengthen. Gather. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, gather. Now lengthen out. See if you can bend the right knee. Let the right knee come out to the right, the outer thigh toward the sky. Left arm out to the left. Breathe. And release. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Now stay here in cat. Breathe in. Exhale back to cow. Toes are tucked under. Inhale here. Downward facing dog. You might pedal. You might sway. You might bend your knees quite a bit. Lift your sitting bones toward the sky. Notice your breath. Where do you feel your breath moving? And then walk or hop lightly to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Palms pass through the heart, mountain pose. Take a deep breath in. Long breath out. Separate your feet at hip distance. And then look down at your feet. Do you slightly turn out? Do you slightly turn in? Could the feet be pretty much the same distance, forward and back? And straight forward as much as possible. Bend your knees a little. We're going to start to bounce. But we'll feel the energy go down, 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 down. Feel all of your toes really connect to the earth. Feel the balls of the feet. Feel the heels of the feet. Feel that downward energy, that connection to gravity. Could gravity feel like a hug, like a welcoming, warm invitation? And then start to straighten the legs more. You're still bouncing, but the energy starts to go up a little bit. Up, up, up away from the earth. Up. How does that upward energy feel? Like you're gathering all that stability and that steadiness and that grounding, connection to earth, connection to your people. And you're going up, up into the universe, up, up. That feeling of lightness or energy or liberation, connection, liberation, connection, individuation. You know, there's this two parts that make us whole, interconnected. And then pause. And if it's comfortable enough for you, close your eyes and notice how you're balanced on your feet. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Now step back to plank or hands and knees. You're pausing here. Notice your breath in plank. Remember, knees can be down and your weight is still a little forward. Come onto your right side, right hand, right knee, or right hand, right foot for side plank. Left arm lifts up. If you have your knee down like I do, you might kickstand that foot behind you, and you could even lift the top leg. Push into the earth, bring the shoulder away from the ear. One more breath in. Come back to plank, knees could be down. Notice your breath. And come on to your left side. Maybe left hand, left knee. Maybe left hand, left foot. You might have done something different on the other side. That's okay. Maybe the right leg lifts. Push into the arm. Bring the shoulder away from the ear. Breathe in. And come back to plank, maybe knees down. Shift forward a little. Bend your elbows and lower to the earth. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Notice your breath, bring your shoulders away from your ears. Walk or hop lightly to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Palms to the heart. Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back plank. Knees might be down, lower halfway or all the way to the ground. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk or hop to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Mountain pose. Arms up, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Plank. Maybe knees down. Lower halfway or all the way down. Cobra or up dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Rise up, inhale. Mountain pose. Two more, friends. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. So maybe knees are down. Cobra or up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog. Walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Rise up, inhale. mountain pose. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog or sit back on your heels or child's pose. Five breaths. Walk or hop to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Palms to the heart. Separate your feet hip distance. Begin to bend the knees and have that energy bounce down, 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 down. Focus on down. And then up, up. Energy focuses up, up, up. Notice the difference. Now try to bounce where it's both down and up. It's somewhere in the middle. You're grounded and you're energized. You're held in a way that allows you to feel liberated. Pause. Look down at your feet. Make any adjustments to your feet so they're supportive. Chair pose. Inhale. Fold forward over your legs. Halfway lift. Inhale. Plank. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Step your right foot forward. Bring your back heel down. Warrior one. Reach your left arm forward. Right arm up. Before you bend that right knee fully, draw the right hip back. And then root through the pinky toe edge side of the back foot. Bring your hands to your own ribs. Allow the ribs to shine forward and lift the ribs up off the waist. Bring the heart forward, draw the belly in, slight tuck to the tail. Now bend the knee and reach the arms up. Inhale here. Exhale, frame the front foot. Plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Left foot steps forward. Back heel goes down, warrior one. Reach your right arm forward, left arm up. And then before you bend that left knee too much, root through the pinky toe edge side of the back foot. Bring your hands to your ribs. Draw the ribs forward, left hip back a little. Slightly tuck the tail. Bring your ribs up off your waist. Heart goes up. Then bend the front knee, arms up, warrior one. Inhale. Frame the front foot, plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Chair pose, inhale. Stand up mountain. And deep breath in. Long breath out. Chair pose, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Long spine, inhale. Plank. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Deep breath in. Long breath out. This time, left foot steps forward first. Back heel goes down. Warrior one. Find the pose. Feel that root through your back, heel, and pinky toe edge side of the foot. Feel your ribs shine forward, your heart lift up off your waist. Inhale here. Frame the front foot plank. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Right foot steps forward, back heel goes down. Warrior one. As you find the pose, feel the root through the back heel. Feel the ribs lift off the waist, shoulders down the back, heart lifts, breathe in. Plank. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Shift high on the balls of the feet. Bend your knees. Walk or hop lightly to the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Chair pose. Now, notice your body in chair pose. What would it feel like to hold chair pose? And to stay steady, strong in your stance, to feel that energy moving down, but also maybe lifting your toes so there's energy moving up. So we're not just rooting ourselves down, we're also drawing energy up. Could you find that place between being rooted and grounded and elevated? The energy between downward and upward, right here in the center, in the present moment. Honor your thighs. Take a deep breath in. Fold forward over your legs. Halfway lift, inhale. Down dog your way. That might mean you hold plank. That might mean you stand back in down dog. Chaturanga up dog, cow cat, whatever works for you. The right leg goes high now. Bend the knee and spin the hip open. Inhale here. Take your right knee towards your right outer arm. Inhale, lift. Bend the knee and spin the hip open. Breathe in here. Take your right knee towards your left arm. Inhale, lift. Take your right knee towards your belly, your chest, or even your nose. Round your back a little bit like cat. Step the foot forward between the hands. Back heel goes down for warrior two. Feel your right knee open over the second and third toe. Feel that root through the pinky toe edge side of the back foot. Feel your heart, your collarbones, Your shoulder blades broaden, lengthen, arms as an extension of the heart. Straighten that right leg. Reach forward, really lean fingertips beyond the toes. And then placing that right hand by your knee or shin, but keeping it very light if you're touching or not touching at all. Couple more breaths here. Back to warrior two. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, side angle, keeping that knee bent. Maybe your elbow rests to the knee. Maybe your hand goes towards your ankle or the floor or a block. Bringing the left shoulder back, spinning the heart up, drawing the belly in. And then bending that knee. Back to warrior two. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, bend the knees, goddess pose. Inhale, star. Warrior two on the other side. So feel that expression of the arms being an extension of the heart and the back of the heart as well, the shoulder blades broad. Some say the back of the heart is where the shadow of the heart chakra lies, which is unresolved grief. So we don't have to mend that or fix that right now, but maybe we breathe space for whatever is there. Breathe space. Straighten that left leg, reach beyond the toes. And then the hand maybe very lightly touches the shin. Maybe doesn't touch at all. Feel into your feet. Feel into your core. Feel into the heart and the extension to earth and sky. Bend that knee again. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, side angle. Elbow might be to the thigh. Hand might be down toward the ankle or the floor or a block. Breathe. Back to warrior two. Inhale, star. Exhale, goddess. Notice your breath. Inhale, star. Warrior two toward the front of your mat. Inhale, exalted warrior. Down dog your way. Down dog your way. Your left leg lifts. Bend the knee and spin the hip open. And take a deep breath in. Take your left knee toward your left arm. Lift the leg, inhale. Take the left knee toward your right arm. Lift the leg, inhale. Step the foot forward as you draw it in, make a little round to the back, and then back heel down, warrior two. So we're going to come to half moon, and my invitation is starting out, it's just a mini moon. So our shoulders are not 90 degrees, they're higher. The foot is barely off the floor, it's barely off the floor. Start to engage your left glutes here and spin your heart up. And then maybe you lift that leg up, maybe your hand goes down toward the earth, toward a block. Maybe it stays suspended. Maybe it touches a couch or whatever is around you. 5 breaths here. Landing back, warrior two. Inhale, star. Exhale, goddess. Can you feel both here, that connection to root and the creative expression that is uniquely yours? Inhale, star. Warrior two on the other side. And again, come into a little bitty half moon. Maybe it's a waxing moon. Maybe it's a gibbous moon. And feeling the stability of your right glutes coming in. And then from that place of feeling grounded and stable, then maybe the left leg lifts up. And spinning the heart up. Maybe you touch something. Maybe you don't. And back slowly to warrior two. Inhale, star. And this time, turn your feet to face forward, and maybe your heels are a tiny bit wider than your toes. Folding forward. Some folks' hands go to the ground or a block. Some folks' forearms go to the ground or a block. Some folks' heads go to the ground or a block. We'll breathe here. And so my dears, we're going to halfway lift and then heel toe or hop the feet together. Chair pose. You might stay here or bring your palms to your heart and twist to the right. Now your left elbow could be up, especially if you're pregnant or have any disc, or your left elbow could be between the knees, or your left elbow could be to the outside of that knee. Your arms could go high to low, or you can practice side crow, knowing there's nowhere to get, nowhere to go. But here for side crow, we have some mat. We have some mat to be able to practice. If you're still in that chair pose, God love you, fold forward over your legs. Grabbing opposite elbows here, taking a few breaths. And then chair pose. You might stay in your chair. You might bring your palms to your heart. You could stay there or twist to the left. Now, the right elbow could be suspended. It could be between your knees. Could be to the outside of that left knee. Your arms could open high to low. Or you could practice side crow since you have a lot of mat there off to your left. It might be a time to do that. Wherever you are, it's just right. This body, exactly as she, he, they are, this body. What a gift. Fold forward over your legs. And separate your feet at least hip distance, if not a little wider. Turn your toes out, squat. You might stay right here and squat with your palms at your heart, your elbows gently nudging your knees open, your booty going down, pelvic floor lifting, or crow pose. Next place that we'll meet is on our butts with our legs wide. Yeah, so wide to the length of the mat, perhaps. Some folks might sit up on a pillow so that the sitting bones are a little elevated. And here we'll just notice what feels useful. Does it feel useful to move flesh away from the sitting bones? How about taking your upper thighs right above the knee and kind of rolling them back a little bit. And then think about sending the heart forward, but feel that pelvic movement, almost like cow. And so here you might stay. Your hands might reach your shins, or you might start to come forward a little, maybe onto your palms, maybe onto your forearms, maybe onto a pillow. Could the pelvis still tilt? So sitting bones go back and up. The upper thighs roll back a little. You might flex through your feet. And just notice, does this feel useful? Can you breathe? And that's a good gauge. If the breath can be slow and steady, the nervous system is settling, the pose is useful. The breath starts to shorten or quicken, not as useful. And then we'll slowly come back up. We'll bring our left heel in toward the groin. We'll hang on to our left ankle with our right hand. We'll take our left hand to our left shoulder and bring it back and start to lean toward the right. And then reach this left hand for the right side of your head. Push the elbow against the thigh, spin the heart up, starting to stretch there on the left side body. Notice your breath here. And then as you slowly come up, Look to your right leg. Take your left hand to the outer edge of the right calf, shin, ankle, or even foot. Lengthen out like cow through the back, and then bow the head toward the shin. Notice your breath here. Some of you might take your right hand underneath your left wrist, crossing the wrist, reaching both hands toward the foot, ankle, shin. Maybe there's a little pillow for your head with your arm. And slowly come back up. And then switch sides so that right heel comes in, left leg goes out. As the right heel comes in toward the groin, grab hold of the right ankle with your left hand. Lean your left elbow onto your left thigh. And begin to take your right hand to the right shoulder, drawing that right shoulder back, leaning to the left. And then reaching the right hand for the left side of the head. And spinning the heart up, leaning into that left elbow. And breathe. Notice where your breath is. And slowly coming up. Placing your right hand on the left outer shin, ankle, or even foot. Lengthen the spine, kind of a cow shape to the back, inhale, and then bow the head toward the shin. Notice where you feel it. Bring your breath there. And some of you might weave your left wrist under the right, grabbing hold of the inner shin, inner arch of the foot, inner ankle, wherever you can reach, and pillow for your sweet head. And slowly coming up, my dears, we're going to make our way onto our back. And as we come down onto our back, we'll bend both knees. Place the feet wide, knees together, feet on the floor. And just notice your low back here. Notice the sacrum, notice the SI joint. Notice where your breath resides. We'll begin to windshield wiper the legs a little side to side, side to side. What do you feel? And gathering both of your knees in, one hand at a time, doing a few knee circles one direction. And a few knee circles the other. Twisting to the left, twisting to the left. Maybe there's a block or pillow between the knees. And notice your low back, your mid back, your shoulders. Notice where your breath is. Coming back to center and twisting to the right. Notice this side. Is there a difference? And both knees come back to center. Right ankle, left knee. Thread the needle, or you might hold on to this right leg and straighten the left leg on the floor for pigeon on your back. You could cradle that leg with your hands or with your inner elbows. Let's see what works and breathe. Half happy baby with this right leg, half happy baby. Maybe you reach behind your knee, or for your shin and your ankle or your heel, maybe your toe. See what feels useful. Can you breathe slow and steady? Your left leg could start to straighten. You could point and flex that foot at the ankle and see if perhaps you feel the front of the left hip as well as the right side. And then we'll release that side, left ankle, right knee, thread the needle, or cradling that left leg while you straighten the right on the floor. See what works on this side. One other way to tell if the pose is useful is, are you clenching your jaw or tightening any other part of your body? Does the breath feel fluid? So these yoga postures and alignment really isn't about performance or looking a certain way. It's really much more about how can I stabilize my joints so that the energy can flow smoothly, the muscles can lengthen, fresh blood can get to all of the organs, and the lymph can move freely, the energy and prana can flow freely. So much like at the beginning of class when we talked about our spine being a riverbed and prana, life force, being carried on the current of our breath, same thing here. Let's come to half happy baby. And maybe you reach for behind your knee, and that allows you to breathe more. So then the prana flows more fluidly. Just notice, do you want to point and flex that right foot? What feels useful? Coming into a felt sense of the practice instead of a visual sense. And then bringing the soles of the feet together. So right leg lifts back up, soles of the feet come together. If you can interlace your fingers around your feet, great. If you'd rather grab your ankles, great. Or even the shins. As the heels draw in toward the groin, allow your awareness to come once again to the back of the heart. Can you feel that connection now? Maybe even some pressure there at the back of the heart, that connection to the earth. Can we bring our breath there? Can you allow your breath to really expand the back of the ribs, the side ribs? And on the exhale, think of letting it go, shoulders drop down toward the earth. Good. You might exhale through the mouth several more times. And releasing your feet, allow your legs to come up and your arms to come straight up to the sky. Bring your shoulders back down to the earth and let your arms and legs both feel kind of floppy. So not strong muscle energy holding them, just stacking your bones and feeling held that way. And then begin just to turn your palms in and out, your feet in and out. So it's a little shaking, like a bug that fell over, a potato bug that fell over onto its back. And shake. And then any other way you want to move here, maybe you have your feet bounce a little, your hands bounce a little, maybe you circle your ankles, you circle your wrists. Just allow yourself to feel, again, both that held by gravity like a hug, like a warm, inviting hug, but also this freedom, this liberation, this feeling of lift away up into the universe, up into the unknown, into what's ahead, what you're manifesting, all of those things. And then release and come to Shavasana. Now, Shavasana can be with your knees bent and knees touching, feet wide, and that's pretty good for the low back. And here, could you be somewhere in between that feeling of being held and that feeling of lifting up off the floor? And my idea is that somewhere in between is the present moment. Somewhere in between, we can find a pause between breaths, a pause between thoughts. Somewhere in between, we can find deep presence. The invitation now is to notice the pause after your exhale, before the breath begins. And that's the only pause we'll notice today, just the pause after the exhale, before your inhale begins. And as you notice that pause, it might extend just from your awareness, not force, just from your awareness. Now imagine that pause at the end of your exhale before the inhale begins could extend, could expand, could become a whole realm that you could step into. A realm of deep presence. Notice the pause between the exhale and the inhale. We might begin to notice a pause between our thoughts. Imagine that this pause is a safe place, one of deep choice and limitless possibility. Imagine that this pause, in its nothingness, in its simplicity, is the birthplace of creativity. Imagine this pause is the place where true healing occurs. Your cells regenerate. Imagine this pause is a place that you can return to again and again and again. To really deepen your awareness, to integrate the practices that you do, the conversations you have, and that this pause is like a leaping pad with so much choice. We could leap to reaction and judgment. We could leap to another place of deep action that's in alignment with our truth. We could leap to deeper understanding. We could leap to curiosity. But this moment of pause gives us choice. And in our freedom to choose, we might find liberation. We might find forgiveness. You might find that deep presence. We might find compassion. We might find empathy. We might find resilience. We might find rightful action that serves our deeper dharma and purpose. Allowing yourself to take a few deeper breaths now. And choosing one side to roll to, doesn't matter which one, for several breaths. And then returning to a seated pose. And bringing our palms to our heart in any shape that feels useful right now. Our breath is a great tool. Our yoga asana practice, the physical practice, is a great tool. Meditation is a great tool. A walk in some sense of awareness and silence is a great tool. We have these tools at our disposal to help bring us back to that moment of pause and deeper presence so that our prana can flow, so that we can acknowledge our emotions and our thoughts and take rightful action. And in that way, we create more peace in our own realm and also in the world. In that spirit of peace, we say Shanti, Shalom, Salam, Amani, Maluhia, Irini, Shiakan, Jam, Pache, Paz. In the spirit of our collective liberation, in the spirit of collaboration, and inviting all identities to have full presence, we say Aho, Ashe, Amin, Amen, blessed be, Kapu Aloha, in Lakach, Satnam, Namaste, Black Lives Matter.